Good evening, Colts Nation. Welcome back to another episode of the No Horsing Around podcast. As always, I am one of two dudes talking Colts. I'm your host, Stephen Burton. And on today's episode, I had to get it out to you guys. I had to get it out. Had to tell you guys my feeling on the latest breaking news. Nyheim Hines signs a pretty hefty new extension with the Indianapolis Colts. So before we get into the details, really quickly, I want to make sure I always tell you guys, please rate, review, subscribe, share. We're really big. Please join the No Horsing family. Subscribe on YouTube. We had a goal before kickoff on Sunday of 400. As of the recording of this, we are at, I believe, 403. So thank you guys. Thank you girls. Thank all of Colts Nation for kind of helping us out with that. So let's not hesitate. Let's just jump right in. 3 years, $18.6 million, $12 million guaranteed. Whew. It's a pretty good deal. I know there's going to be people who have reservations about this. Phil Yates put out a tweet. I'm not going to pull it up, but Phil Yates put out a tweet that said this contract actually makes him not only a top 10 running back paid in the league, it also makes him the highest paid non-lead running back. So why do we pay a running back who's a non-lead that kind of money? Well, here's the deal, you guys. Nyheim, you guys have heard me say it over and over on this podcast from the very beginning. Nyheim is a Swiss Army knife kind of thing. We've talked about it with George Brimmer, Zach Kiefer. We've talked about it with Tony Donahue, Laura Steele. Me and Zach have talked about it. He's not just the kind of running back you put into the backfield, hand him the ball, and he just runs between the tackles, just boom, boom. That's not what he's going to do. He's going to catch swing passes. He's going to cut it to the outside. He's going to occasionally return a punt, occasionally return a kick, occasionally return a couple of them maybe for a touchdown. We all remember from a few years ago, when I believe it was 2019 was the year, and all he did was return two of them, 2 punt returns for touchdowns. I mean, it was kind of, for lack of a better word, it was more of his kind of coming out party that year. He didn't do a ton leading up to it. He was, it was his down year, really. But then, when you show up and you do something along like the lines of this, so for those who are on YouTube, you guys are seeing it. It's just a ridiculous play. Cut, speed, and he's gone. No one's touching him. No one's close. That's the kind of stuff that Nyheim is able to do. But it's not just stuff like that, you guys. It's not. You've got the Lions game from last year. You've just got this ridiculous play, the spin, the corkscrew. This is the second touchdown of that day that he took in, and the second time he did the Simone Biles flip. We all know how athletic he is. We all know how fast he is. But it gets lost, I think, to everybody else. When you start looking over his stats over the last couple of years, he's going into his 4th season. His first season, pretty good rushing stats. He had 85 rushes, 314 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did a little bit more damage in the return game, was much more a factor in the return game at that point. And this is also coming out of NC State, late round pick. Not the most highly regarded coming out. We knew he was fast. Then you get to 2019. That's the year of the punt returns. That's the year of the Panthers game. That was kind of his coming out party. He had a very down year that year. He had 52 rushes, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then last year really showed that he could kind of line up. He had 89 rushes, 380 yards, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Just like when I'm talking to you about the fact that he's the 10th highest paid running back in the league right now, and he's the highest non-lead back. The dude catches the ball as well, you guys. He does. First year, rookie year, 63 receptions, 425 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then his down year, 2019. And he'll tell you it was a down year if you listen to him. 44 receptions, 320 yards, no touchdowns. Then you had last year, 63 receptions, 482 yards, 24 touchdowns. I mean, he does a little bit of everything. He's earned that money. I have no problem with him. It also shows you where he sits in regards to how they view him in the Colts organization. Me and Zach talked about during the offseason. There were 3, maybe 4 high priority people in-house that they wanted to sign extensions for. 1, Braden Smith. Boom. Signed, sealed, delivered, done. Boom. 2, Darius Leonard. Signed, sealed, delivered, done. Highest paid middle linebacker in the history of the NFL. Right? 3, there's Quentin Nelson, but he signed his 5th-year option. He's getting paid $20+ million. He'll be signed, sealed, delivered, done next year when it's due up. And the other one that was tossed around a lot was Nyheim. Was Nyheim going to get in there? Was Nyheim going to be able to make a little bit of money this season? And they did it. They locked him up. They viewed him as a priority back. You also look, he is sitting right now entering week 1 in 2 days. He's the second on the depth chart, right behind Jonathan Taylor. He's ahead of Marlon Mack and ahead of Jordan Wilkinson. There's a reason behind that because of how they look at him and how they view him. There's a deep level of respect. Thus, the 3 years, $18.6 million, $12 million guaranteed, you guys. Kudos to you. If you're that good, pay the man. It's okay. He's making $6.2 million per year. He's led the Colts in receptions last year with 63 and has 170 since entering the NFL, you guys. He averages 14.9 yards per punt, best in NFL history. That's why you pay the man. I got no issue with it. He's fed. He's happy. Let's get the season started with our number 1 and our number 2 backs. Let's go get a win against Seattle. I think we can all agree with that. Now, I know the title of this, as always, is Breaking News, Nyheim Hines. But we do want to touch on just a couple of quick things when it comes to what's going on headed into this weekend. Obviously, Carson is not on the injury report. We're very, very happy about that. Carson is set to start this Sunday. Very happy about that. We have a couple of questionables. We have a couple of outs, too. We know Xavier Rhodes is out. We know Fisher's out. And we know who was it? We know that we have a couple other people who are going to be sitting out too. We've got a couple of questionable. Paris practiced, Quentin practiced, so we're not quite full strength, but we're pretty damn close. It's going to be really interesting to kind of see how this plays out, what's going to happen as we head into the game this weekend. We don't have our full O-line because we are missing Fisher, who came pretty damn close to actually starting, which is kind of a miraculous thing when you look at it. The dude tore his ACL and he almost started week 1. I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing to think about that he was that close. All in all, pretty healthy, about as healthy as you can be heading into this game. The other one that I was trying to think of is Kamoko Toure is actually out as well. Y'all know he's one of my breakout players of the year. That's going to hurt my prediction a little bit that he's not playing in week 1. So all in all, healthy going in. All in all, healthy, happy for a lot of our key players. Like I said, Darius Leonard, Nyheim Hines, Braden Smith, Quentin Nelson's pretty happy about his payday. Obviously, Carson's still pretty good about it. We got our captains lined up. We got that announced earlier in the week. I'm happy with that. It's really cool when you think that it's player voted. So snub that stuff about Carson not being loved by his teammates. As always, you guys, we try to bring you guys this stuff as quickly as we can. We love you guys. Please, like I said, like we always used to say too, is, hit that subscribe button, big Q style. You guys know who have been around. You know what that means. Please rate, review, subscribe, share, tell a friend. If you're subscribed, tell another friend. We're humbled every day that we pop open our thing. We've gained a new subscriber. So we can't wait to get this season started with you guys. I end it the same way every time. I love you. I know Zach loves you. I'm out.